Hello. Hello, friends. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are, my people. How are you? This is Koera Senior, once more coming to meet his friends and organic friends who are always with him and actually supporting this gentleman called Koera Senior. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think I was with you the other day. We were talking about the Sodom and Gomorrah, and thank you very much. Thank you so much for those who subscribed, for those who commented, and actually who shared and liked my video. And I once more encourage you to still be with me, and we go ahead. As I was telling you, these gold mines, yesterday, after I had spoke to you, right now there are 22 people who have been collapsed. The mine gold has collapsed around the western part, around Kakamega in Kenya. And they were inside the tunnel, and up to now 22 people have not been recovered. Just imagine, and it was yesterday. And though I'm not I'm not God, but since yesterday and there is no oxygen inside there, I sincerely doubt that even if they retrieve these bodies today, they will find people who are alive. So it is very strenuous, it is very hectic, it is a reality. And actually, I still repeat that let the government see how and what modalities they can use so that the safety of the people can be assured. There is a lot of distraction. Like yesterday, you see, just imagine 22 people. Though there were many, but I think some were retrieved alive. There are some who were saved alive, very likely, but so many people have drowned, and they have been actually, I don't know how we call it, the landslide. It's a landslide. There are now, you know. So it is very actually unfortunate. Okay, today I'm still on the social life, and we are today going to focus on our Kenyan police, our Kenyan police force, given that yesterday there was a lot of chaos at Nyabohansi. I don't know what happened. The police tried to arrest some innocent citizens, and there became a public outcry, and a very big chaos erupted. There were so bad demonstrations. The tires were burnt on the roads. They blocked the main highway coming from Sirari to Migori. The several hours, the business became standstill for several hours. They were actually running down and up, chasing the police, chasing the youth. throwing canister tear gases to them, and actually it was somehow it was very dark. May I congratulate the youth of Nyabohanse for standing for their right, because it has been disclosed that it has been a routine by some, let me repeat that, by some individual police officers who are always harassing these young men. They are arresting them for no reason. They are intimidating them. They are actually, a few, they are looking for bribes from them. And it is until yesterday when the donkey was tired. You know, when a donkey is overweight, when you put a lot of weight on the back of a donkey, it always lies down with the luggage. It cannot walk. And even if you beat it, when it stands up, it will kick you using its hind legs, or even it can bite you. That is when the donkey is tired. So the same to the civil society. When people know their rights, when people know what they are supposed to what they deserve, when they know that this is the actual law and order, when they don't break any law, and then you try to intimidate them, they will say no. So in this case, this youth, there are individual police officers at Nyabohanse whom they complained and claimed that they have been harassing them. They are corrupt, they are intimidators, they are actually not auguring well with the general community of Nyabohanse. So that is why these youths came out in mass and rejected some of the individuals who they claimed were not supposed to be at Nyabohanse, because they are not interacting with the people on the ground well. I hereby congratulate the Madam OCS. I do not know her name, but the madam had, in fact, she has a lot of leadership qualities. This lady tried so much. This lady tried so much to calm the angry youths. She became patient. She became tolerant. She listened to them. And I even overheard her asking one of an aged person that, okay, now, do you have a son? This man said, yes. Will you like him to be a policeman? That man said, yes. Then look, this is an example. There was an individual policeman whom I had overheard them calling Oscar. They were saying Oscar must go. Oscar is a nuisance at Nyabohanse. Jessica is somehow abnormal. So Oscar was actually publicly rejected by the community. When you hear people crying over one man, or rather two, remember, just know that there is a problem. So, Madam OCS, I honor you. your diplomacy, you never used force. You used a motherly language. You were addressing these people. I watched you so keenly. You 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 addressed this congregation diplomatically and with a lot of wisdom until they allowed the policeman to come and remove the fire they had put in the middle of the road. So, Madam Moses, let me also say that make a calling that the rest of the OCSs copy from you. It's not necessary that when there is a civil unrest, you must shoot and kill. It is not necessary. Although I'm sorry for the old man who was hit at the back by a tear gas canister, and I could even see these young men collecting cartridges, and they confirmed that they were plastic bullets, so they were not harmful. So, madam, thank you very much. And now at Nyabohansa again, the youths, seemingly you people are very much learned because the learned people understand quickly. So you are not rowdy. You were rowdy at the first time, first round, first moment, but you became calm when the Madam Osius tried to address you until you actually accepted, and the sanity and the peace came back. Thank you very much. Sincerely, thank you very much. And Madam OCS, may I once more again repeat that because what I know about the police is a civil force of state. It is a civil force of state which is actually responsible for prevention and detection of crime. They prevent the crime, at the same time they detect the crime. After detecting, they stop that, and now they maintain a public order. I think that is what you did yesterday, and actually I was very, very much impressed. Let me say that the civil society cannot do without the police people. The police force is actually quite important in any society. Remember, not all civil servants are equal in mind. There are those who would like to break the law. There are those who can follow the law. There are those who do a lot of things. There are people who can cause unliving people. There are people who can be breaking, who can be stealing people's property, there are those who take drugs. And without this police force, no man can become rich in any place because his property will be taken by the goons. So in fact, I feel for the police force. I feel for it. And I wanted to today share that these young men and women in the police force are also sons and daughters of people. These are sons and daughters who have been actually educated, who have been taken to school by their parents. Then they are employed in the police force to actually earn and to be breadwinners so that they can be taking the little coins they earn back at home so that their families can continue. But now, I wanted to make a call to the Inspector General of Police, if at all he will listen to me, that since these are also human beings, but actually they have faced a lot of challenges in the police force. I can recall that there are so many cases in Kenya where you find a police officer has died in his house or her house, but nobody knows how. When you try to investigate, they say, okay, by his side there was some chemical, so which means this person committed suicide. This person committed suicide by himself. And also, I can recall so many police officers have shot their colleagues in the stations. You find a police officer running berserk, taking a gun, then starting shooting anyhow and killing the innocent other officers. The reason, nobody can tell. You find a police officer, be it a lady or a gentleman, shooting his wife and the children, and then turning back the gun to himself. Imagine one decides to eliminate himself and his entire family. Ladies and gentlemen, you can understand. You find, like yesterday, I'm talking of yesterday, there was a certain gentleman in a particular, in a certain police station who became sick. And then this gentleman was taken to the hospital. Okay, he went to the hospital, he was admitted in the ward. Then later on, I don't know what happened. This gentleman woke up and found a knife. Then he started stabbing the other patients who were admitted in his ward, stabbing them with a knife, stabbing. Now my question is, should people fear? Should people object, or should they remove their children from being recruited in the police force? Because what is the really root cause of all these dramas? What is the root cause of our young men and women killing themselves, eliminating themselves, getting stressed, why? So, Mr. IG, I propose that you form a counseling team. You form a commission. But I think formerly during the President Uhuru era, there was, I don't know whether it was Uhuru or our current president, I cannot recall, but there was a commission formed to look into the problems of the police force. And I think they must have captured this psychological torture these people are going through. There is a very bad torture. There is a depression torture which is eliminating these people. What is the root cause? Why? Why, surely? And remember, we cannot do without the police force. We cannot. Without peace and order, without order, without law and order, the safety of a citizen will be at risk. So, Mr. Inspector General, sir, how can you, what modality can you use to save your force? Because it is now becoming too much. It is now becoming extreme. It is becoming uncontrollable. People will fear to get employed in the police force, because I don't know what happens as a gentleman or a lady or a young boy or a young girl gets recruited when he's very sober, but reaching there, this person turns to be, I mean, you cannot even imagine he is the person you knew. He turns to be a devil. He turns to be doing things which are not human. What is the really root cause of this, Mr. Inspector General, sir? Okay, maybe it could be financial stress. I think that one must be one of them. It could be maybe work environment, maybe the working conditions or the working atmosphere does not favor some of them. It could be these people are overworked. I don't know. If they're overworked, why don't you employ enough force so that they have a limit of working hours? Maybe one overworks. And I hear in the police force, once you are always following commands. Once you are commanded, you are not supposed to argue. You have to do. Maybe they have that work stress. Maybe their seniors are oppressing them. You could be find, as I was congratulating the Nyabohansi OCS, madam, maybe in another station there is an OCS who is always oppressive to his juniors. You never know. What is the root cause? Why don't you go deep and find an inquiry, form an inquiry body which actually can save these people, Jesus? Our sons and daughters are getting finished. And finally, may I also recommend that if I were you, Mr. IG, add these officers enough money so that they remove stress. Maybe it is finance, maybe some have taken loans. You see, you take a loan which you pay for 72 months. When you are earning, somebody is earning 6,000, depending on the pay slip. Somebody is earning amount which cannot sustain his family. And this is a gentleman who has children at home, at school. He is taking care of his parents. Maybe he has not constructed a good house. You see, you find now, and this is the man who is always carrying a gun. So he can do anything with that gun if his mind's loosened. So, sir, this is Kohera Senior from Korea, and I'm saying that I love the police having our property. We couldn't be safe. We couldn't be having peace. We couldn't be enjoying. You find people are enjoying throughout the night. People are walking. These people are doing an exemplary work, an excellent work to bring peace. Please, do something kindly. Do something to these people. Please save these people. Thank you very much. May God bless you. just subscribe, like, comment. If you are a parent, I believe most of you are parents. I'm addressing parents who have their children in this force, and maybe we have no any other platform to address ourselves as parents. Now, this one, I believe our call will be heard, and by the relevant authority as have pleaded, and let us also, as the good citizens of this country, support the force so that we can minimize the crime and actually live peacefully and in a harmonious way. Otherwise, thank you very much. Let us meet in the next video.